So we're group 14 and we'll be covering Saudi Arabia, Singapore, South Africa, and Spain.
Hi everyone, I'm Colin Tomasek and I will now be going over 3 topics to consider whilst your time in Saudi Arabia. Firstly, it would be honoring and celebrating national holidays. The 3 above, the other 2 are just plain national holidays there in Saudi Arabia, and the 2 under being religious events, which this could mean refraining and scheduling some business meetings on these holidays or participating in the local festivities themselves. Moving on, making business travel plans whilst you're there. I recommend you get your visa well in advance to your trip to Saudi Arabia, and then itinerary-wise, you might have to schedule events and meetings on their local work week, which is from Sunday to Thursday. For cultural etiquette, it's paramount in relationship building, and meetings often begin with extended small talk and addressing senior colleagues first. Some logistics and accommodations, I recommend booking hotels in major cities like Riyadh or Jeddah for more reliable transportation options. And finally, dressing appropriately in the workplace. For men, at the very least, a suit and tie is expected, but some Saudi Arabian businessmen prefer a long traditional white robe paired with a headscarf to reflect cultural values. And then for women, foreign business women are not legally required to wear an abaya, but it is a very safe option. And if not, it's advisable to choose modest business attire, which would mean wearing long-sleeved, loose-fitting garments that cover up the arms and legs just to make them feel more comfortable, and it's seen as respectful and professional. Thank you. I will now be passing it over to Carter to talk about some.
Now we're going to move on to business in Singapore and some of the etiquette that goes along with that. We're going to start off with visiting a client's home. Don't be late. Asian countries are known for their punctuality, and being late to dinner or delivering documents will be taken as a sign of disrespect. If you're late, you need to reach out and let your client know. Dressing appropriately. Choose neat attire that fits the setting. Business casual works well. Showing respect to your host. For example, if you're asked to take off your shoes or you are offered house slippers, you should do so. Bringing up politics and religion can easily offend your host, so stay away from these topics. Throughout your visit, express appreciation for the invitation and hospitality. A firm handshake and a sincere thank you goes a long way. Some of the national holidays of Singapore are the New Year's Day, Chinese New Year / Lunar New Year, Good Friday, Labor Day, Vesak Day, and Christmas Day, and there's a few others in there as well. On these days, many businesses, including banks, government offices, and corporate institutions, may be closed or operating reduced hours. This is going to influence schedule planning, supply chain, and service availability. Giving gifts. When giving gifts in Singapore, present them with both hands in red or gold wrapping, and you need to avoid items like clocks or sharp objects because they could have a symbolic meaning. You also shouldn't expect recipients to open gifts immediately, as they traditionally do this in private. You should not get a gift so expensive that it will imply you want a certain result from giving said gift to your client in a separate business interaction.
I'm Sarah Verghese, and I will be covering South Africa. So for South African national holidays, they have a lot of similar ones with New Year's Day, Good Friday, and Christmas. But some of their more original ones are Human Rights Day, which commemorates the Sharpeville Massacre, Freedom Day, which celebrates the first democratic election in 1994 and marks the end of apartheid, Workers' Day, which is similar to our Labor Day, celebrates the role of the labor movement. Youth Day is to commemorate the role of the youth in the fight against apartheid. National Women's Day celebrates the women's rights. Heritage Day and Day of Reconciliation are just aimed to promote unity in the country. So for business travel plans, U.S. citizens are required to have a valid passport, but there's no visa needed for up to 90 days of travel. Taxis are dangerous in that country, and so Uber and rental cars are suggested, and travelers are required to declare their personal items. Workplace dress, business and smart casual are suggested amongst finance fields, and business casual is more popular amongst tech industries. Smart casual is essentially the same thing as business, but minus the tie and coat. Business casual, jeans are allowed, but still no sports material.
Going into Spain, we're going to start with the national holidays. They have a couple of the same ones as the U.S., such as New Year's, Christmas, and Labor Day. Labor Day is celebrated on a different day than when we celebrate it, but they still have the holiday. Some different holidays are Epiphany, All Saints' Day, and Assumption. These are Roman Catholic holidays recognized by the Spanish government. When making travel plans, it's important to know that their day starts a little later than ours. Usually starts around 9 and could end at as late as 7 with a 2-hour break in between. It's important to be prepared and well dressed. Know that the climate can have very hot summers, cold and rainy winters. They're very big on creating relationships with others, and meetings have a natural flow rather than item by item list what needs to get done. Also, business cards are commonly exchanged with English and Spanish sides. When looking at the business dress in Spain, it's important to note that they have a very high value on appearance. Everyone in the business world is professional. You'll see men in suits, women in blazers, dresses, stuff like that. Men most commonly have cropped hair, and a lot of these suits also are from name brands. There's a very high value on nice articles of clothing, and you'll see that throughout the country.